Welcome back to the African Wilds Tournament, Expert Division qualifying round, hole number 2. Here we're going to be playing a luminary bounce up shot for setting up for a sniper bounce up for the albatross. So we're laying up, sniper bounce up. This is going to give us, in my opinion, the best chance at the albatross and still staying safe on the drive and the approach. You can kind of send this a little bit, but you can't really get it all the way down where we want it to be. So this shot has resulted in a couple of albatrosses during live play for me, so I'm going to show both of them to you. The adjustment for the drive is P3, 0% elevation, max numbers. We are using a P5 ball, luminary type ball, P5, side spin 2 plus wind 3. We're setting up at the top of the plus 10. So if you have APOC 5 and 6, you'll have 1/3 of the red ring in the right rough at the top of the 10. APOC 7 is red ring touching the right rough. And APOC 8 is 2/3 of the blue ring in the right rough, all at the top of the plus 10. If you have APOC 4, you can set up with your yellow ring touching the right rough at the top of the plus 16. We're using 2 top spin, 1 right spin. Again, P3, 0% max numbers for the drive. Yes, we're using a P5 ball, but we are using P3 numbers for the drive and the approach. Half a ball of right curl, no overpower, right? Pull this one as straight as you can. No push up. Half a ball of right curl. So when I'm looking at this shot, just so that you're playing it the same way I do, same way, and getting the same results, I want the left side of the ball touching my center line here. And I'm also looking at the bottom of the ball touching the line on the shot circle, you know, on the bottom broken part. So we got the triangle here, there's a gap, and there's another part of the triangle. So we want the bottom of the ball touching that part of the shot circle and the left side of the ball touching your center line. That gives you the same curl, the same amount of overpower every time. This is what I'm looking for so that I can get consistent results on the drive. Anything 346 to 348, I think, has been the average here, depending on the wind angle. For the approach shot, we're playing it P3 plus 45% at slider. We're going to use 1 left spin only, and you need to pull this straight with a slight 1201 flicker. So it's 1 left spin only. What we're going to do is add our left spin, find our landing position, adjust, and then we're going to need to use underpower based on the amount of plus yards that we pull down. So if I start at the plus 18 and I pull down to the plus 8, then I've pulled down 10 plus yards, right? 10 plus yards needs 4 clicks of underpower. All right, and I'm going to go over that in a second, but I just want to, it's important that you get the underpower correct, because that basically, if you get the underpower correct here, you have a much better chance at dropping the shot. So what I'm doing is, with my spin added, I am having my second bounce just above the rough here, right? So if you've seen, I was pulling it down until I clicked into the rough, and then I pushed it up just until I clicked out of the rough. That is where you want to be. second bounce just above the rough, and then you want the tip of the ball guide. There's a line that runs right through the center of the cup here. You want to be just right of that. Or if you look, if I put my center line over the ball guide, I'm aiming basically straight at the left edge of the cup. Okay, that is what you want to look for. So the second bounce just above the rough with, and I'm only looking at this portion of the ball guide where it's straight, right? I'm not looking at any of this down here. So just this section where it's straight, I want that to be right in line with the left edge of the cup. Right? Once you have that position, so here I am, I'm at the plus 18, and that plus 18 is 90 slider. We're using sniper plus yard P5 numbers. So plus 18 is 90 slider. The adjustment is P3 plus 45% at slider. So here I'm adjusting plus 45 at 90 slider, which gives me an 11.8 adjustment. Like I said, you want to pull this with a slight 1201 flicker. Make sure you're not pulling any 59. And you see I started at the 18, I finished at the 10, so this needs 4 clicks of underpower. One thing that you want to look for here is your second bounce. You want your second bounce to land just above the rough, right? You don't want it to land in the rough, but you also don't want it to land high above the rough. You want it to basically land within about a half a ring of the rough to give you your best chance. So when you practice this, pay attention to where that second bounce is landing. You want it to, if you're landing too high, then you're not adding enough underpower to the shot, right? So that's the key. Make sure that your second bounce is just above the fringe, aimed at the left edge, and then when you play it, make sure that your second bounce is landing just above the rough. And so how I'm doing that is basically I'm paying attention to the amount of plus yards that I pull down. So if I start at the 16, right, and I adjust down to the plus 8, that's 8 plus yards that I adjusted down, right? Actually 7, so that's 8. So 9. So 8 plus yards I pulled down. So this needs 3 clicks of underpower. So it goes like this. If you pull down anything plus 3 or less, you don't need any underpower. So if you start at the 16, you pull down to the 15 or the 14, you're good. You don't need to play any underpower. If you pull down between 4 and 5 plus yards, then you need 1 click of underpower. If you pull down between 6 and 7 plus yards, it needs 2 clicks of underpower. 8 to 9 plus yards needs 3 clicks of underpower. And 10 to 12 needs 4 clicks of underpower. That's kind of like the key to this shot, because again, you want that second bounce to be landing pretty close to the rough. Besides that, slight 1201 flicker, and you should be looking at a pretty good chance at dropping the albatross here. Like I said, I did drop this live 2 for 2. So it is a good opportunity. Practice this a couple of times, get your underpower situated, and your starting position and setup. You should be, hopefully scaring or dropping this shot. P5 sniper plus yard numbers, I'm going to give you from the plus 10 up. So the plus 10 is 70, 11 is 72, plus 12 is 75, 13 is 77, plus 14 is 80, plus 15 is 82 slider, plus 16 is 85, 17 is 87, 18 is 90, 19 is 92, plus 20 is 95, Plus 21 is 97, and plus 22 is 100% slider. You should be within that range every time. So that's your slider numbers. Good luck, everyone. Practice this one a couple of times, and you'll have a good chance at walking away from hole number 2 with the albatross. Good luck. Hope you get the drop. We'll catch you on the next one.